Hello and welcome to another episode of Before We Break Up Again with Alfie Brown, that's me, and this is my partner, the missus, Jessie Cave from Inkheart, the water nymph.
Number three
in Inkheart. You remember who played water nymph number 2?
No, just quite a moody person.
Oh dear. In this episode, I feel depressed, and we analyse why that might be. And at around 17 minutes, I almost cried.
You do cry,
which is rare for me, and indeed rare for a public episode. Crying is usually contained to Jessie's Eyes Patreon episodes, but this time it's Alfie's Eyes public episode. What an occasion. We speak about the cause of my disgruntlement, depression, sadness. It's not like, the worst depression in the world out there, but it is mine and it is present, so keep listening. And then at the end, there is a peach sorbet palate cleanser of talking about Jessie's tits. So depression and tits.
It ends up beat.
It's the perfect balance. We have a Patreon every single week, every single Monday. An episode will come out. Patreon, it usually involves Jessie crying and, juicy conversations. We've got the story of my cancellation. Last week, we had the story of our breakup. So subscribe to that on the browser. Do not use the native Apple app to subscribe. It's more expensive. Subscribe on the web browser, please. It's reasonable-ish. This is Before We Break Up Again. Enjoy the episode.
Alfie is feeling a little bit luteal today, so I'm going to take the lead with this podcast and grill him about his life choices and our sometimes collective problems, but mainly his problems. But I will just say, I don't like this podcast in terms of how it looks aesthetically. I liked how it looked in our old flat.
Yeah. We
just had a few internal fights just this morning about certain things and
internal fights.
Yeah, well, I guess they're all internal, aren't they? No, we externalize them. I mean, internal, like not for public consumption.
Oh, we decided to keep a fight just for ourselves.
Yeah, we were gonna
podcast the fight,
but I made sure I deleted it, which is good. When we were in our old flat, I liked it because it seemed to be more front facing. I don't like the fact that I'm doing this every so often.
Yeah. And when you say doing this for the listener who isn't watching and seeing any of the aesthetic.
It's my profile. And then I get paranoid about my profile. So then I look straight on and then I realize I'm not connecting with you and looking at you. And given that my aesthetic really brings me down, seeing endless clips of myself now a week, it hasn't helped my self-esteem. So I would like to be active and change that. We don't have to do, this isn't even our table. This is the previous owner's table.
Came with the house.
Hate it. It's a horrible little table. I don't like it. I like my desk. So I think we should do it again on my desk, be in a different, and it's nice to have clutter behind us, but they're all your books. They're not, well, some of them are mine, but they're mainly your books. It'd be nice to have a more neutral setting, I think.
Yeah. Well, whatever you want is fine. This is where the way it is, it's just the way it is, but it can look wherever I feel like you're not really holding space for my luteal phase.
No, so I think this is a contributing factor. I think that, like we spoke about in another deleted podcast that we didn't, because I think you've been luteal for a few weeks. This room is not your room. And I think the whole point of moving to Liverpool was us both reclaiming some of our identity and having space to grow as artists. And this room is where Margaret does her homework. It's where I never sit because it's too cluttered and I haven't even had a time to sit down really there at all. There's no light over there. And then this space is your space. The piano is there. That's where the kids come in and, interrupt you and us a million times a day, which is nice. None of this it's not totally yours. And I think that is a problem. And I think, again, with your work choices at the moment, you're doing a lot of things that are not for you. And I think that's massively affecting you. I think you need to really be a bit more selfish about what you want and what you need as not just a creative person, but just as a man. And I want that for you.
What I need as a man?
Well, like as a person then? Sorry.
No, it just sounded, fun. I don't know. I mean, so what are you suggesting for the fate of this room then?
I'm saying that literally we press stop on this podcast when we finish it, and we move my desk and we move all stuff of mine upstairs from my office. That's my room. This is your room. And then you have space in here just to think. I think that you're experiencing what I have experienced on a lesser level over the last 4 years after having Becca, which was a massive identity crisis. And I think that yours is partly because you've had this cancellation. You've been in a mild form of hiding ever since. And then you release the show about it and have all of this lovely praise and attention. And, it's exposing. And now you're feeling like, okay, well, I need to keep that up. I need to keep doing that. And you're exhausted by it. And you just need to be like, no, I've done it now. I've put it out there and now you can move on.
I've felt down for a couple of days and I have been, no, can you not do that on the podcast, please?
Sorry.
Honestly, it's so distracting.
Yeah. It's just a cough. It wasn't burp like you do.
I don't do burps, I just swallow.
That's so much better.
That's what curtailed the first podcast because I swallowed too much.
Three times.
3 swallows. And I get tattoos of little swallows. Yeah, I'm not sure that it's that. I think it's very sweet how you become so animated and passionate with your desire to find solutions to what you see as the problems. And I've tried to tell you what I think my problem over the last couple of days is. And you have, but you've got your own ideas about what my problems are.
I just think I'm right.
I know, but I've told you what's wrong with me.
So you're just tired.
That's not what I said.
Oh, you're addicted to your phone.
But in a really it sounds so pathetic and it's quite an oversold and possibly embarrassing thing, but I just feel like I'm hemorrhaging life and there is so much instant gratification to be sought and an endless well of information. And as somebody who is quite hungry for information, you cannot tell me how many deaths there were as a result of the proxy wars fought during the Cold War. But my phone can. And therefore, it is endlessly interesting to me. Not only that, but I can find out how many deaths they were in proxy wars as a result of that were fought during the Cold War. I can find out how many people are liking me and get the sort of dopamine surge based on what I'm putting out there. And there's also arguments and people slagging me off and everybody thinks I look like Michael Sheen. And it's I know it's crazy. It's also, it's so boring because we're all talking about it all the time.
Michael Sheen, the Welsh one.
Yes.
I'm sorry. No.
It's because of the slick back curly hair. And people see it's a haircut and a beard and people go, oh my God, you look like, I don't look like him, but I just have the same follicular setup.
I understand.
It's such a cliche. It's so weak. It's so tedious. If you go scroll through Substack, you'll see just endless, or at least I will, endless articles about brain rot, reset your dopamine, how to break the cycle on all this. And you're on it. I asked ChatGPT how to reset my, like that is like, it's insane. It's like asking your captor how to get out of the lock.
Yeah, you really, really do need to listen to this anxiety and put it down. You don't need it. You don't need it right now.
I know. And I know that, but I know that as I'm doing it. That's not like that you can't.
Well, I'm going to make you then. I'm going to make you.
You can't explain to somebody. And I think as time wears on, we'll understand this more. You know, who knows what the severity of the long-term outcomes will be, whether or not you'll see a rise in things like, depression, alienation, who knows, something more severe, maybe, who knows the long-term effects, maybe on dementia and things like that. It is something that is inhibiting my enjoyment of everyday life, my experience of it. And I find sometimes that when somebody calls my name, when I'm looking at my phone, yes.
I know, I've seen you do that.
They break free. Oh, I'm being vulnerable. So
I'm attacking you.
Yeah, that's not what I want from this exchange.
It's what I want.
I'm being vulnerable. I'm attacking. That was very funny.
I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand, how terrible you are with it. I've seen it.
Yes, but I think one of the first things, like, and I think people are loath to even say like addiction with this sort of thing, but like, I find it easier to give up booze for a year than I would my phone. And it's just having such a devastating effect. And it's so necessary. It's having such a devastating effect on my brain and how I interact with the real world around me. And
we need it for our careers.
It's an absolutely essential component. And I feel so boring and so cliched even complaining about it. I feel really embarrassed even mentioning it right now.
Good, you should.
That doesn't make me feel very nice.
Bad. I'm joking.
And
I'm very proud of you for admitting it, because I know you are ashamed.
Yeah, yes.
I'm sorry. But I think it does show that you do have sorry, I'm not jumping on I'm not piling on, but you do have an addictive personality. You don't have, when you start liking something, you do, quickly snowball. And I think the phone thing is a much more subtle thing over the years than, say, when you go into a phase of drinking or weed or, you do have that addictive tendency. So I think it's natural that it's just finally showing up as a problem. And it's a lot more, it's so subtle. It's a very slow decline, but I've seen it in everyone and me. I have it too. But yeah, I think I just, rather than just fucking complain about it, let's just do something about it. Let's do something active. You can do all of the work you need to do on different, you could do clips that you need to do on your laptop. You don't need to be on your phone. There's so much more, we can be active about this problem. And as an experiment, try different things. Like with it's counterproductive, but I've started a secret Instagram purely to try and combat my feelings of such low self-worth and self-hatred. I've started this new one to try and make myself feel better and to do things that are actively therapeutic and healing. And I would be too embarrassed to post that on my main one. So I've started this new account, and it hasn't actually meant I've been on it as much, because I'm going on, posting something and getting off. But so I've been trying all these new tactics for self-care, which again is something that I used to, if anyone said self-care, I'd be like, gross. But this song came on this morning as I was running. And I really did not want to run this morning too, because of the lack of sleep for the last few days. But I did. I ran back from nursery. And this song came on, this classical music, and the title was, I think it is, Remove the Complexities.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only 2 minutes and 12 seconds long. And it's the most beautiful piece of classical music. And I saw the title of the song and I thought, that's what I need to do. I need to remove all the excess crap and just focus on what I want and what we need as a family and what I need as a woman. And it's been really helpful because that song now is 2 minutes, 12 seconds. And for those 2 minutes and 12 seconds, I just kept thinking, right, how can I just focus on what we need to do, all of this stuff. And it was really, it's those little things that I'm doing are slowly going to change me hugely. So if you can find a way of doing something for 5 minutes, not having your phone nearby, me hiding it for 5 minutes, you not knowing where it is. I think it would be really helpful. Just tiny little steps, like you've done with weight loss, like you've done it very slowly and it's really obvious now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think you can slowly give up this addiction.
Yeah.
And get what you need from it. It's not like I'm not on those things now, but I'm on it for the good.
Well, you understand the sort of terrorizing impact of being alone with your own thoughts. And you try to avoid your own thoughts, possibly just as much as me, but using different methodology. In that you run with music, you fall asleep to podcast, you maintain, you are busy.
Yeah, I'm never, ever, ever still.
And if ever you are in transit, there is some form of media taking you from one A to B.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same instinct really, but it's not the same thing that you're doing to get over it. I'm using it as a sort of patch to get over or to avoid thinking. And when you say self-care and you're slightly reticent to use the phrase because it's overused and modern, like the reason why I think these new terms exist is because you have to be so much more conscious of how to care for yourself than perhaps you used to be, because maybe there is more sugar, and I mean sugar in the broad sense, as well as like what sugar actually is. Like sugar as in your iPhone is sugar. There's sugar in everything now, in that like quick fix. But in terms of your longevity, you will suffer. And to avoid all the different elements of sugar in your life, you do need to take more care of yourself, but also just surviving was possibly harder. But now we are being destroyed by comfort. And I feel like there is so much, there's the old thing, like if you eat a lot of sugar, you can't taste an apple anymore. Processed foods, etc. Like you can't taste real food. It will all just taste like shit to you. And after all of this, like surge and all of this information surging into your synapses, the real world feels mundane. And that is how I feel. I realized that I've stopped laughing at stand-up. I just glum about it because it used to make me feel so happy, and I don't.
Well, I think all of this stuff has taken you away from stand-up.
Yeah.
And that's putting the phone away.
But I feel so addicted to it because I feel like it's my only route to it.
But it's not.
But I understand.
I know.
I'm telling you that I'm telling you I feel like that because I know that it's wrong. If I thought that it actually was, I wouldn't think it more mentioned.
I know. You need to have a detox. That's what you need. You need to just get it away from you. Go back to the the physical act of being on a stage and writing for that specific gig. That will cure you. And doing that each week, every Monday will, in 6 weeks' time, I think that we should think of the next 6 weeks as a boot camp. Before my boob job, I need to get strong. My back needs to get strong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be able to run after the boob job. So I'm going to run all the time and do all the things that I won't be able to do post that. And in the same way, I need to get strong for what might happen after. It might be a really difficult recovery. I might find it completely I might find it physically really hard. So I need to get strong and more resilient in the next 6 weeks, as you as well, I think, should get, try and detox off your phone and get physical, get on stage, go and exercise, do something that's just completely the opposite of what you would usually do. I think we should use it as 6 weeks, a 6 weeks boot camp. Get this office sorted.
Yeah.
A lot of this will be fine. The truth is, there are apps for everything. There is a way of being online without being online. There is, it doesn't mean that, if I'm going to be a successful stand-up, I need to be active online all the time. You don't. Interestingly, I saw a podcast last night, a clip from a podcast, and I realized that it was
irony, isn't it?
Yeah, I realized that it was AI responding to people. And I thought, should we be doing that? And then I thought, no, I don't want to do that.
Sorry, I don't explain what you mean. What is AI responding to people?
Okay, this is probably actually something that everyone does, so it's silly that we don't do it. But so in the clip was there, and then underneath in the comment was comment something to get the full episode.
Mm.
And so they'd obviously use an app to DM people directly the link to the podcast, which is really clever. But again, it's another step that we've not done to, maximize our reach.
Yes. And something that was initially the whole prize, or the whole, not prize, the really optimistic element of all of this technology was that it put power in the hands of independent, creative people. And now it's kind of taking it away, because we all now work for the company, like Meta, whatever. We work for these companies, giving them stuff for free so that they can make money out of it. And those who view what it is, we are not the customers of Instagram. We are the product that is sold to the advertisers. So the more product that they can accrue, the better. So we are, and all of this, introducing AI, having to have a social media marketing manager, it is inherently uncreative and artistic. It is totally necessary. And Tim Minchin and James Acaster can write all the books they want about how you don't need social media, but
they had a big enough career before.
Yeah. So, Tom Waits could also write a book on how you don't need social media. It's completely irrelevant. What I want to see is, who's actually managed to do it? John Kearns? No one has managed to do it. Well, John.
But ultimately the venues that he's booked by, whoever, John Kearns, whoever, he's a placeholder. The venues that book these people have the social media. So social media is contributing to everyone's success. It's absolutely vital.
Yeah.
There is no way around it, but there is a way that you can take back some time in your day. I think that's my main motive this year, is to reclaim time for our own well-being. I just think it's the most important thing. And it's so easy because we don't have normal jobs and we don't have a weekend, that we think that we should be doing something the entire time. And especially with things like OnlyFans, it's every spare second I'm okay, how can I make money in the next hour? It's absolutely exhausting. And we have to be okay with not making as much money and having a better creative, output, that there is a way that we can do that.
Yes.
We have to listen to these instincts. Your instinct is saying there's something wrong. Listen to it. Same with me. Like my instincts at the moment are telling me, this is what you should be doing. You should be getting this tattoo. You should be getting the boob job. You should be doing these things for you. To do it, run to it, sprint to it.
Yeah.
And I'm doing that. And it might be awful. Those things might, but I might really regret that, that urge that I have to do this. I might really regret it, but I feel like I'm already on that train.
Yeah. I think a more present-minded engagement with one's long-term happiness is, a good idea.
It's also thinking about what we want for the kids and their futures. I mean, I don't like slagging anyone off, but I was in town yesterday and I saw a mum pushing a buggy with a large child, but three-ish, 4 child who, I know some children have screens because they have needs and stuff. I completely get that. But this child looked like, this child had what looked like her mum's phone and was scrolling adult TikTok and going psh, 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 like this, like an adult would. And I walked next to them as this child was just scrolling, every fourth thing was a child's reel or TikTok or whatever. But the ones in between were not. I saw them. And she was just walking along, letting her child do that. And I was just like, I desperately wanted to go up to her and say, she doesn't need to be doing, she could just look around. Even if she cries, it's fine. They can cry. And I think that we've got into a bad way lately with our kids, like Becca, who's home more than the others, is completely obsessed with certain YouTubers. And we haven't put.
I mean, the idea that they're YouTubers is just it's a bloke singing songs. It's Danny Go.
It's Danny Go. He's obsessed with Danny Go.
And
Danny Go is a drug.
But I mean, at least he's dancing around. I know
it's not as bad as it could be.
In short amounts, in small amounts, I don't think it's as bad as certain other things. Park Ranger Aaron. But
I think back to Donnie being Becca's age, and it was CBeebies on all the time, which was definitely better because it's slower. It's lots of it is educational, but we don't even watch CBeebies with Becca. Becca's a different baby, different generation. I mean,
I wonder, just to sort of pivot the conversation slightly, because I think we've nailed that now, how this conversation is perceived by people who are listening or watching it. Because is this just two people in their late 30s struggling to come to terms with what is now perfunctory modern technology? Like, is this a crisis, or are we just, parents shouting at them at modern times?
I think there's an element of us both being pretty lost right now in our careers and us blaming something. I think it's valid. I think I know how I feel after hours on my phone, and you know how you feel. And I think that it's a valid concern, but I think there's also another side of the story, which is both of us we have to make some changes. But
is that sensation of feeling lost, is that because of the exposure or overexposure to all this? Are we? There's a quote. In The West Wing that if I am who I think I am, I will have mentioned on this podcast before. But Joey Lucas says to Joshua Lyman,
"You said this before."
Yeah. I have, of course, I have. But it's obviously a quote that stayed with me, and one that I think is worth repeating.
Everyone, hold on to the edge of your seats for the. for the quote again. Go on, then see if I remember it. See if it rings a bell.
Okay, well, I'll start it and then you see if you can finish it, okay? You don't want to be... Who do you not want to be?
I don't know.
The French general?
Oh, yeah, no. I don't remember stuff because of my short attention span.
Exactly. You don't want to be the French general who says, there go my people. I must find out where they're going so I can lead them there.
You have definitely said that on the podcast before.
Should I tell you one of the sweetest things that you do is when you're laughing, then a little bubble comes out of your teeth.
Shut the fuck up.
So
every time I laugh?
No, not every time.
Okay, good. Thank God. Imagine. Yeah, for 12 years that's been happening.
And we're encouraged to think like that rather than be creative in a totally autonomous self-fulfilling way. It is engineered by, and of course you're going to sort of move toward what you think people are like, will like to an extent. But with us watching Get Back, the Beatles documentary on Disney, those four men feel fairly compelled by communicating something that they felt was good and true. I was listening to Blue by Joni Mitchell the other day. I don't think she was thinking, I hope people like this. She was thinking about what was an honest and interesting and beautiful way to communicate something that mattered to her.
And in Get Back, they seem their happiest when they're just jamming and they're not worrying about what's, getting the song right. And also the variation in the same song is amazing, which shows that they were just, the final product could have easily been the other version, could have easily been this version, but they were so, creative that it could have been so many different things.
Well, that's absolutely, but also a lot of the time they're sort of yawning and scratching and you see them bored in the rehearsal room, and then out of their boredom comes creativity, and out of their boredom comes play, comes creativity. And that is like something that every practitioner of creativity and art and generating work in a creative sense will say, is that creativity comes from play and play comes from boredom. And if you're never bored, you never play. And if you never play, you're not creative.
Yeah.
Which means that things are necessarily less creative and more formulaic. And we were heading towards art that felt AI generated before AI could even generate art. I know that some people will like her, but I think it's like the lyrics are pretty bollocks. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. It's very like, it reads like a star sign entry in that it can be applicable to everybody. It isn't, it's so broad as to be applied to everybody's life and lacks attributable meaning to that one specific person. It is, anyway.
I read something that said, if John Lennon was alive today, he'd be so active on Instagram. Like he would absolutely have loved social media. I just thought, I don't know about that.
I think the more likely out of the Lennon and McCartney writing partnership to be active on social media would be Paul, and he's not. Yeah,
and he's not. I also, this is completely different, but because Margot's doing a dance at the moment to Where Is My Husband, that song. And she was doing it with the YouTube video in the background. And I noticed that the song has got something like 68 million views.
We're in the wrong game.
68 million views for that song. And the lyric video alone had something like 10 million. I just can't believe that, because she's great. you know, that artist is obviously very successful for a reason.
She's fine.
No. She is great. I've met her. She's nice. Anyway, we're not.
I've not met her.
We're not doing any slagging off. What I'm trying to say is,
she's great because it's like nice to be nice. She's fine. It's fine.
You know, no, okay, whatever. But the song itself is fascinating because I was listening to the lyrics and thinking about it and thinking, is that a good message for our 9-year-old daughter? Like, where is my husband? And then if you actually listen to the lyrics, it's kind of, it's, oh my God, I just can't believe it. I can't believe that is the song that all these 9-year-olds are learning this dance to. And it's got 58 million views. And it
does feel like feminism lasted about 5 minutes, doesn't it?
It's crazy. I mean, I think it is trying to be inverted feminism by saying, why isn't he coming for me? I'm amazing.
Right. But then there's that moment at the end where like it says, well, when you learn to value yourself, that's when you get a husband.
Yeah.
And it's
on a placard.
The only reason to find value in yourself is to get somebody else to, obviously, like we are all.
I didn't like myself before you fell in love with me. No. I still hate myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, we have to stop soon.
We don't have to stop soon.
No, we do. Because I've got stuff to do.
But what are you doing with your breasts?
I thought this would be a fun ending.
Okay.
Sorry, did you have more to say on Where Is My Husband?
No.
Where's my husband?
Apart from, I will say that anybody who wants to write, record and produce a song that I will like, big tip is like...
Big tits.
is a ride symbol at the end, like something that bounces along. It just gets me. It gets me every time. So much as I, don't really like the messaging of that song, even though maybe it's like ironic, post-feminist, who knows, what justification there is for it. I don't know. Maybe I haven't understood or listened hard enough. I don't know. I don't care. But that little ride crash at the end, which also occurs in the last chorus of Long As I Can See the Light by Creedence Clearwater Revival. It just, so satisfying. Such a satisfying thing to have in a song. Love
the
it.
other funny thing is the dance that they've choreographed to this song. Most of it is them standing there like this. Like just... Even that I find a bit mad. Like, why are we teaching these 9-year-olds to do this kind of movement and just to be sassy and like they're there to dance when they're not there to just, do these little finger wagging stuff. I find that very, very difficult. And I don't know whether that's, again, a problem that I have and maybe but there is a footballer. And he would always share these videos of his daughter dancing when she's like 12 years old. And she's like rolling her body and running her hand down the side of herself. What the fuck is going on? Is any episode of Dance Mums?
That is I mean, I'm very glad that's, if you can give up Dance Mums, I can give up my iPhone.
I've given up. I don't watch anything. We don't watch anything anymore.
I need to read a motherfucking book.
Yeah, you do.
You
do. I don't. I'm reading. Actually, sewing's now replaced reading. I realised I now just sew whenever I've got spare time, which is, I think, good for me. But I feel bad. I should listen to an audiobook, but they're too slow.
Listen to it on 1.5 speed.
I know, but then you just feel a bit like...
Martin entered the parlour. Disgruntled. He saw the face of the
There you are. You're laughing again.
No.
You're all right.
No. I'm hiding my fear behind a sardonic mask.
Okay, That's
what it said in my school report when I was 15 years old. Can you believe that? Can you believe that my fucking teacher... Well, actually, I'll tell you what it said. It said, Alfie is hiding behind a sardonic mask of fear. And I went, no, I'm not hiding behind a sardonic mask of fear, Andrew. I'm hiding my fear behind a sardonic mask. I was a prick even back then.
I really
Still
worry.
in touch with him, though.
Is that the drama one? I really worry about our oldest son at the moment in that way, because I feel like he's developed your sardonic mask.
Yeah.
He's started saying stuff that I'm like, that's very clever and very funny, but I think there's some pain behind that, actually. I really don't like that development.
Well,
I like it because it's very clever, but I'm also just quite worried about it.
is it bad that I'm not totally upset? Obviously, I don't want him to be having a bad time, but his school and social life up until this point has been such an unbroken boulevard of green lights, or a boulevard of unbroken green lights, that this little bit of social resistance that he's experiencing currently, and it's not like anything deeply traumatic is happening to our knowledge. He's just not really enjoying his school. And I think, I mean, I had an abysmal time at school and was a deeply depressed 9-year-old. But
me too.
But and that, I don't know. I just think
it is good for him. It's good for his resilience, and
it's been brilliant for his relationship with his younger sister, because they, in the car to school, at moments when he was feeling more glad of himself and his situation, she was a punching bag, metaphorically and occasionally literally. And now they are playing games and they laugh so much. Yeah. And because I'm so addled with dopamine withdrawal when I'm driving, the sound of children's laughter cuts through me like a knife. But for them, what a gorgeous thing that they're connecting like that. And I haven't seen them bicker or fight really like they would in days. They've really been communicating and enjoying each other and making each other laugh sort of deeply.
Yeah, they've got on a lot better lately. And I think it's also really nice that they have the same interests. So they're both obsessed with this anime series, and they have that time together. I think Pinter has really helped too, because I had to go to bed with the younger two last night, and I said they can stay down for another half an hour with Pinter and watch the thing. And I think they like both having to take him out to do a wee, and then, they had a joint thing. I mean, they took me for a ride. They didn't come up for an hour and a half, but because she's more content, it's meant that she's not as annoyed at things. And I think he needs her. So it is good for him, but it's sad to see
Can I have a breast?
How for the first time in his life, he really doesn't want to go to school. But there's nothing we can do about that. One of us, he was always going to be the one that was most affected about moving, because he had such a solid friendship group and an idyllic setting, with more independence than he has here, because here we drive everywhere. I'm going to let him out on his own. Yeah.
Whereas there he had the courtyard that was the enclosed block of flat courtyard that we had. I'm very lucky to have.
Yeah. So it's
play football in it.
It's different, but it's actually quite good for me to see how different he is with me than you. And that makes me more sympathetic to you right now, because I know that you don't tell me stuff when you're upset and you're stressed or you're worried or you're anxious. You go into your phone and you shut down. And I have to kind of prise it out of you.
Yeah. Or it has to reach a state of such dejection that it is impossible to hide from you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you need to listen to me.
Yeah, you always say that.
You need to go swimming. I've told you this for years. You need to become a swimmer. If you were a swimmer, I just can see swimming in your future. You are going to be a swimmer.
Okay, Mystic Meg.
I can't swim now for ages because of my tattoo.
Your enormous tattoo.
Yeah. Anyway, and then so when he speaks to you, he doesn't really say that much about how sad he is.
No.
Whereas me, the second he sees me, the second I put him to bed or I have a moment on my own with him after school, he's just crying. Or he's talking to me and he's he's being, because he knows that I'm there for that and you're there for this. It's really interesting. Okay. Well, we are also trying out boob sizes this week, aren't we?
We are trying out boob sizes, which is why I've organised the rice in tights test for Jessie. As you can see, I've put as much rice as will be in her breasts in these tights. It's not rice going in her breasts. That wouldn't make for a very nice cupping experience. But it is...
you won't be cupping them for a long time.
Well,
yeah?
I might gently cup. Very gentle cup.
You can mime a cup.
I'll just place the cup of my hand around.
But the funny thing is, I did a Instagram poll type thing, and I asked if anyone could guess what I was doing. And 90% of my answers were craft based. Like they all like, are you making a paper mache puppet or, rice hair mask? Or
Mr. Potato Head.
One person guessed boobs, testing out boob sizes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't feel that massive, to be honest. Like, no. It's so fun. I would have to get a completely different wardrobe because actually I think I'll be wearing just a lot of tight t-shirts.
Yeah.
Because my big t-shirts I'll look massive.
I don't think anyway, that's by the by. Let's not focus on, whether or not it's
I don't mind looking massive. I'm just saying it's not how I don't want to look massive. Is that bad?
Yeah.
Is it bad to say that? It's not that I'm anti-massive. I just don't want to like I've only got used to myself as like a flat baggy
shirt
t-shirt
woman. Yeah.
woman. So I don't. So I probably won't.
Well, yeah, you've spoken to me about the fact that your massive t-shirts and your like the way that you are has affected your gait and posture slightly.
Well, I'm sitting straighter with these big boobs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to make the microphone higher.
Why? Oh, because
I'm sitting up straighter.
Yeah.
Look, you look tiny.
Yeah, but that's
so do your boobs.
Your chair's also higher up than mine.
I can't believe that I'm gonna have big boobs.
Yeah.
And I do think they should be a bit bigger.
Okay.
Just a tiny bit.
Whatever you think.
I am really scared. I'm not going to lie. I am really, really scared.
What are you scared of?
I'm scared of the weight at night and feeling like I'm being crushed.
Have you lied down with those in your...
Well, actually, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I think if you're crushed by, a few 100 grams of rice on your chest, you've not got you're not a very robust structure in the first place.
Yeah. And also running. I'm going to miss running for a while.
Yeah.
Because you can only do a light jog like 6 weeks later.
Yeah. 6 weeks doesn't feel like an incredibly long time, does it?
But no. And yeah, no, I'm going to be fine. I'm so excited.
We could also get a rowing machine.
I just wish it was happening sooner now because I've just kind of committed in my head and I paid.
Yeah. Well, it's good. We're going to have, a whole... our second dog, new boobs.
No, after Pinter's behaviour in the last few days, I'd really gone off the idea of getting a second dog.
This is only lasts a couple of months, his adolescent phase.
Yeah, but it's just such a big thing. Can we wait till after Edinburgh? I think we need to just get through in Edinburgh without another thing. Imagine how much accommodation will be with a dog.
I don't know, the same, just with someone that's dog friendly. Who knows?
Anyway, I hope you like my new boobs, listeners. And watchers, probably more the watchers.
I think we might see a surge post March 9th of YouTube views from listening.
Do you think that I'll lose followers? Because people will be like, how dare she? How dare she get big boobs?
I think that your imagination is much more full of anger and hatred towards you than the real world is, And I think...
Can I tell you something really funny?
Go on.
So I wore them to go and get a coffee to try out the walk, how the weight felt driving and with the seatbelt. And I'm not imagining it. But I got out the car and I just walked along Lark Lane and...
With your boobs in?
Oh, yeah.
In a tight t-shirt?
No, in my anorak.
Right.
But I won't be able to wear that anorak ever again. That anorak is for me flat.
Mm-hmm.
It's very androgynous. My whole look generally is quite androgynous. She says that's like a pink sky. But I knew I was going to be putting in the fake boobs, so I wore a tight t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, as I was walking along, it was probably a 30-second walk from the car to the coffee shop. And I got stared at twice.
Mm.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
It's not crazy.
I know, but I was wearing a massive anorak and they looked at me and directly looked at my boobs, 2 men. And I just thought, oh my God, I'm going to pass out. I don't get stared at ever. The only time I ever get stared at is when I've made, my hair is down and I'm in something. I rarely am wearing anything that I would ever get stared at. So it's crazy that I was wearing basically my pajamas and an anorak.
What do you think? Do you think that it will be the start of a broader change in your look? Or do you think that, do you think you would just be essentially the same, but with bigger boobs?
I think I'll be essentially the same with bigger boobs.
You don't think that it will, you will sexualize yourself for yourself and therefore embrace of course, because right now, as you said to me the other day, so this isn't me putting this on you, I don't think, but in terms of your day-to-day dress and how you go about the shops, there is a kind of hunched androgyny.
Right, yeah. Thank you. I love you too.
But with your new big old titties, your posture about tits out, like, will you wear a little singlet with? Yeah, no, with the roof of your, that's the roof of your cans peeking above the singlet.
Yeah, I'm going to wear a lot of strappy tops.
Oh my God.
Never been able to wear strappy tops.
Why?
Because I'm too broad. I'm so broad. I will just say that the surgeon said to me, "Oh, you're perfect for this." I know that he also he's trying to sell you a pair of tits. Yeah, he is. But he said that I've got a good frame for some huge boobs because I'm so broad. Yeah. And I've got such big ribs that he was like, "Yeah, you can go big. Yeah, you could go big." So I tell you what you can go back to. When Jessie and I first met and indeed made love on January the 15th, 2014, Jessie to bed every single night for that first sort of 5 years would wear a little kind of mini dress to bed. And it was never quite long, and no knickers. And it would never quite be long enough. No knickers? You wouldn't wear any knickers, no, to bed. Oh God, I don't remember that. I can't imagine not wearing knickers now. To bed? Yeah. Never wore knickers to bed. And the mini dress was never quite long enough to keep the no knicker a mystery. So so there would just be a little bit of vagina poking out the bottom. It was essentially like a top with just no knickers. It was a long vest. It was a tight long vest, H&M. They don't make them anymore. Love them. With your vag out. And now I think, maybe the mini dresses can make a return. Tell you, that's so interesting because it wasn't for the first 5. You very quickly told me you didn't enjoy the vests. And I realized it's because once you have kids that can move, you need to wear knickers to bed because otherwise they're just seeing you naked the whole time. Also, I think that it's just, not that you didn't look great in it, but I think you just looked like you had got distracted halfway through getting dressed. You never told me that. You just said that you didn't like them. You didn't say it was because of So you need to be more honest, Alfie. More honest. Okay. You say anyway too much when we're podcasting. I know. Way too much. I know that. That's one of my things. We got to get better at podcraft. Yep. That's what we should have called the podcast. That could be my crafting podcast, actually.
You were meant to be grilling me this episode. Why have you not grilled me more?
Maybe,
you need to
genuinely,
interview me.
I think we can make a business out of these.
Yeah, of course we can. You are making a business out of these.
We could make fake boobs. Like, because actually, I don't need the boob job. I could just wear these the whole time.
Yeah.
Do they look fake?
If I stare, yeah. Maybe that's why they were staring.
I was wearing an anorak. They just saw the big mound.
Why do that woman's tits look like they're full of rice? Very grainy tits, that woman in the anorak
But
has.
I can make some little cute things and I can make up a business, rice and tights.
No, first of all, you had to get me to do it for you.
Because I can't do measurements.
Because you're already fucked. You already need my help for it.
Yeah, but that would be your part in the business.
No, but I don't want a part in the business. I want to get on. As you've been telling me all day, I need to concentrate on my own stuff. You can't be doing all this stuff. Like, I need to focus on me for a bit.
Okay.
So I can't get involved in your rice tit business.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let's grill you for the last 2 minutes, okay?
I need
Why won't you swim?
Because it is the most time-consuming thing that you can possibly... You've got to... go to the swimming bars. They're disgusting most of the time. You get like wet and then you got to get dry. It's a nightmare. Whereas going to the gym, I think I just want to work out. Shall I tell you what I really want? And this is, again, a tedious and far too ambitious dream to ever realize, but a fucking routine. I would like to have like, oh, it's 11 o'clock. That means I do this. Oh, it's podcast time. Let's go and do our podcast.
You can do that.
We can't do that. It never worked because it's never worked.
Yeah, but it's not worked because we got a giant dog after we just moved cities and had a fourth baby.
The giant dog is part of the routine. Yeah,
but I would argue you need to walk him way earlier in the day.
Well, sure. Straight after. I think
when it's summer.
Straight after drop off.
When it's warmer, I think you walk him to school. We all walk to school.
But that changes the routine.
Yeah, but I think that your hour walk in the middle of the day is completely distracted to any chance of actual work.
Who knows? And then there's it's 2, time for exercise.
Yeah, you need to do that. You can do that.
So let's fucking curate that.
You do that. You curate that. I'm not curating that for you.
But it needs to be done around you because I live and love you. So it needs to be done at your convenience.
I think basically until September, we won't have a routine. And when Becca starts school, we'll have 5 days.
But there is a routine because there can at least be a routine on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays.
Well, I've tried to make that a routine by me. Anyway, this is too boring for a podcast.
Right. Next grill.
I don't know. I think that we know what you have to do to feel better. I think that I know what you need to do. You need to pick a book and you need to go and walk the dog and then sit down and read for an hour and not look at your phone for the rest of the day. That will be a curing thing today. So pick a book. Yeah. And not one about social media.
Those books are so tantalizing when you walk into Waterstones. They're going to, here's how boredom will save your life. Well, yeah, but I know.
Yeah. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine.
I can tell that we are going to be friends.
Okay. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Sorry about all that again.
It was an upbeat quarter.
We had a good, we finished strong.
Thanks to the rice and tights.
Yep.
Comment if you think that these are too big or too small. I think I'm going to go a little bit bigger, to be honest. I'm not going to tell you the measurements just in case it gets back to my mum. I told her and she's like, you're not going to go too big, are you, darling? I was like, no.
Do you think my impression of her is good?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Right. Thank you for listening, everybody. We'll try and stay away from any... No, I know. I'm not going to apologize. I'm got to stop apologizing. Thank you for listening.
Fuck you, everybody.
No. Thank you for listening, everybody. Please watch Alfie's special on YouTube because he's going to stop posting clips about it.
I've got 5 in the tank ready to go.
Just save them, Alfie. You don't need to put them out there. Please come to my work in progress in London on the 17th of February at 6:30 at the Bill Murray. I've sold half the tickets, which is actually really nice already to have sold. And if you want to any more of us, there's a Patreon patreon.com.
I'm about to do that in the intro.
No, I'm just doing it now. I'm taking the lead with this actually. Patreon.com/brave clown, where there's a new episode, like a bonus episode every week. So yeah, so you're not going to talk again. Okay. You just.
I'm doing the intro.
No, I'm doing the intro.
You did it last time.
Okay, fine. Thank you for listening, everybody. Goodbye.